Welcome to A Few Minutes with the CEO. My name is Al O'Grady, and for the next few minutes, we'll be talking to the President and CEO of Heatherdale Resources, Mr. Pat Smith. Heatherdale Resources is a Vancouver-based exploration and development company with two projects in Alaska. They're called the Delta and the Niblack. Now, very interesting developments with the Niblack. The date of today's recording, Wednesday, November 30th. Yesterday, on the 29th, the company issued a press release stating that total resource estimates have now increased 31%. We'll be talking more about that in just a second. Heatherdale Resources trades on the TSX Venture Exchange under the symbol HTR. Mr. Smith, welcome to the program.
Well, thank you, Al. Yeah, good to be here.
Okay. Pat, as I said right off the top, very impressive press release yesterday regarding a significant increase in your total resource estimate as far as the Niblack property is concerned. Walk us through this. What's the latest? What's going on?
Well, we've been continuously drilling with two drill rigs underground for the last 2 years, really, since Heatherdale got involved in the project. So this is just another updated resource estimate that we've done. We did our last one in March of 2011, and this is the result of a lot of hard work that's been done over the course of this season. We're really happy to see that we've now reached a milestone for us, which means that we've now approaching just plus 9 million tons indicated and inferred. So we're pretty excited about that.
Okay, now this increased estimate, this is pretty much across the board. It's not just one mineral. We're talking gold, silver, copper, zinc, I believe. This is pretty much across the board for all the minerals. Is that correct?
Right. That's the beauty of Niblack in that it's a polymetallic deposit. It's a volcanogenic massive sulfide deposit. And that provides us with really high-value copper, zinc, gold, and silver. So we get all four commodities, and we recover all four metals.
Okay. What was your overall reaction? I mean, 30%, that's a nice bump. What was your reaction to this? Was it a pleasant surprise, or was it a quiet confidence? You knew that this was going to happen all along.
Well, you drill your holes, and a good number of the holes we've been drilling this year were both infill drilling and extensions to the mineralization that we knew about. But until you really pull it together with the technical mine planners and modeling guys and the three-dimensional geologic model that we use, you really don't know what the final numbers are going to be until at the end of the day. So it's always a pleasant surprise to see that we've increased the tonnage to this extent. We were hoping for, maybe a 20-25% increase over our March resource, and we've exceeded that nicely.
Okay, so that's always a little bit of a pleasant surprise when certainly it exceeded your expectations. Not a whole lot, but still exceeded your expectations somewhat. So I guess $64,000 question. Where do you go from here, both short-term and long-term goals?
Yeah, well, in the short term, right now we are using this. The model has been refined from the drilling, and where we're going with this information is we're inputting that into our preliminary economic assessment. So we've now got the engineers engaged in the mine planning and the modeling around the capital expenditures required, how we're going to mill it, what those costs are going to be, the operating costs, and so on and so forth, to come out with this preliminary economic assessment in the first part of 2012. And so that's what we're focused on at this point in time. And, we're really looking forward to finally being able to put some of these measures out in front of the public and analysts so that they can see, the robust nature of this deposit.
Okay, so we've talked about the present, a little bit about the future, at least the next few months. Give us a quick snapshot in terms of background. Maybe someone that's new to the story, looking at your properties and your projects. Give us a quick 30-second background on this.
Heatherdale came into being in 2009, and it's a Hunter Dickinson company, related company. So we've got all the years of experience and success of the Hunter Dickinson group behind us, and I can draw upon that expertise as need be for Heatherdale Resources, which is a tremendous asset to me. In 2009, we did the joint venture arrangement with Niblack Mineral Development, Inc., and that arrangement was initially a 51% interest for Heatherdale, 49% for Niblack, and we earned our way by expenditure in the ground to a 60% interest just this year. So if you look at the value add for Heatherdale, we initially in 2009 had 51% of the resource at that time, which was indicated and inferred total together was 4.3 million tons. 51% of that, in March of this year, we earned our 60%, and we had a resource estimate at total combined at 6.6 million tons. And now, before the end of 2011, in November, we have 100% because we've negotiated a friendly acquisition of our joint venture partner, but in mid-January that should be finalized, and we'll have 100% of 9 million tons. So you can see that the value added over that 2-year period has been really phenomenal.
You've been talking about preliminary economic assessment, and obviously you have to roll up your sleeves and go to work on that. Now, are you still going to be continuing more and more drilling as far as the Niblack is concerned? And does that really present some sort of added potential with further discoveries? And maybe if you can talk about that, if there are any more drill plans for 2012.
We have some very exciting exploration drill plans for 2012, as well as the continued geotechnical and metallurgical sampling that we'll do as part of a pre-feasibility study that we'll initiate in 2012. So the 2012 program will be a combination of infill drilling, geotechnical drilling, and metallurgical work on the existing resource that we know. We'll also be looking to expand on that resource in areas such as the eastern down dip extension, which is wide open, the Trio deposit, which is part of this resource, it's wide open for expansion. And then we'll also, for the first time for our team, be able to step out from the known resource and expansion of that to do some real pure exploration, if you will, on known targets that we've come up with in the district. And we'll be initiating that kind of in May of 2012. And a lot of that work will be from the surface, so we'll be doing a surface drilling program. And the team is extremely excited to get out and test some of these really high-priority targets.
We've been talking about the Niblack primarily, but you have another project in Alaska as well called the Delta. Take a few minutes and just tell us more about that property.
This is more of an exploration project. We picked it up early this year, and we have the option to earn 100% interest in the project. So we're really happy about that. It's a very large land package up in the interior of Alaska near Tok. It's on Alaska State mining claims. It's in a very good location near the Alaska Highway, about 15 miles from the Alaska Highway. And we just got our feet on the ground this year with an exploration program designed to do about 6 weeks worth of work. And we took a drill rig from Niblack up to Delta, and the same technical team, if you will, of geologists and the logistics guys. And we did our 6-week program. We got 4 holes, and 2 of them got down to mineralization. 1 of them we lost, and the other didn't hit significant mineralization. But the 2 that did hit very good widths, of massive sulfide mineralization at very high value. And that really solidified our interest in the district and the property. And even more exciting to some extent is that while we were there, we surveyed the entire claim package, and we prioritized targets for next year. And we did quite a bit of boulder sampling in the vicinity of the drilling that we did this year, and came up with some extremely high-grade boulder samples that form kind of a clustering or a train back to a source area that we weren't able to get back to because we didn't get the results till just recently. And
right.
We can't go back till next season. So I'm pretty excited to get back on the ground out there and take a look at what we've been sampling and see where it leads us to.
Exactly.
And we'll be back in that area next year in 2012 to do another a drilling program and further exploration.
Okay. Pat, I've literally talked to maybe 200, 300 different presidents and CEOs of TSX venture companies. For the sake of a small cap investor that really likes the junior resource sector, what is it, and maybe he's doing his due diligence by listening to this interview and researching your company, for that type of audience, for that small cap investor, what is it that sets you and your company apart from the crowd?
Well, I would say, it's several things, but most importantly, we have a resource. It's the real thing, if you will. And it is we are pulling all the pieces together now. I mean, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel with regard to making this a mine. And the PEA, this preliminary economic assessment, which will be out in a couple months' time, will put numbers around all that, and we'll see the economics and the planning behind it. And from there, we can launch into a pre-feasibility study. So we're not necessarily on the front end of an exploration program. We're on the advanced stages of moving towards a development decision.
Right.
I think that's important. And coming with that, it's this company, with the assistance of Hunter Dickinson Group, has the ability to put the technical team together to make this a mine. As opposed to maybe an exploration company that would have to really shift gears to go into a development type of scenario.
Right.
But we have the abilities to take this all the way through to mine development.
Pat, on that note, I want to thank you very much for your time and sharing your thoughts with us about Heatherdale Resources.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you. And Heatherdale Resources trades on the TSX Venture Exchange under the symbol HTR. And you've been listening to Mr. Pat Smith, President and CEO of Heatherdale Resources, on A Few Minutes with the CEO, produced by RBL Communications. I'm Al O'Grady. Thanks very much for joining us.